Forgiveness, the whole aspect of taking responsibility for our actions can do more to make a generally healthy environment in our lives than almost anything else. Even if it's something, especially perhaps. So here's the example. Those of you who have children, if you have a child who, and some are prone to lying, who are prone to avoiding responsibility at all costs, what do we all tell them? We tell them, if you tell me the truth, you're not going to be in trouble, or at least you won't be in the same kind of trouble as if you tell me a lie. All right. You're not really worried about whether or not that child tells you the truth about what happened that time. You're worried about how to shape that child into a fully functional human, right? I mean, that's what we are trying to teach our children when we drill down on, you'll never be in as much trouble if you tell me the truth as you will be if you tell me in a lie. Because one of the prime goals for, well, everybody I've ever met as a parent is to raise children that have integrity. You know what makes that really hard? You know what makes that impossible? Is if that child ever sees us refuse to own our mistakes. It completely undercuts and debases anything we ever successfully taught them about taking responsibility for their actions. Now let's back up, and what are the practical reasons for taking ownership and making it a habit of taking ownership? One of them is, if you grow up, if you advance in your life with a mentality of, I bet I can lie my way out of this, you will never be as good at anything that you do as if you go through life with the mentality of, if this goes sideways, I'm taking ownership. Can you see how that mindset is going to unavoidably teach you to bring your whole mentality to solving the problems you have to solve? Because in your heart, you know you're not going to try to lie your way out of it. You're going to take accountability. Can you see that the commitment within yourself, if you learn to love and desire the impulse to take accountability, to be honest with those around you and with yourself, can you see how it will make integrity generally your North Star more than anything anybody else will tell you? Can you see how the habit of taking responsibility for your actions when you find a healthy work environment is going to get you raises, is going to increase your responsibility? A coherent organization is only going to advance the people who will take responsibility. Now, there are plenty of incoherent organizations where the opposite thing seems to happen, and I know that we're going to get comments about that. But I hope you'll post the comments also about the places you've been that have recognized that accountability in an employee is a prime characteristic for advancement. So obviously, one of the concerns about being truthful and upfront and accountable when we make a mistake is, what will become of me? They will fire me. Well, you know what? They're certainly not going to take you out and shoot you at sunrise. And if they do take you out and shoot you, they're not going to eat you. I learned that from Bill Cannell. He put in acoustic ceilings. I worked with him on the Las Vegas airport. Prince of a guy. They're not going to take you out and shoot you. And if they do take you out and shoot you, they're not going to eat you. But the fact is, there are worse things than being fired from a job that's already a dead end, or even if it's not a dead end, is a toxic work environment. So you don't have to fear that. If you've made yourself productive, there's going to be someone else that's going to be super happy to pick you up. As we wind this down, one of the maybe overlooked aspects or behaviors associated with radical accountability is when something goes sideways, especially if it's your fault, and even if it's not your fault, go to the person who's responsible for cleaning up the mess, who's responsible with dealing with the fallout, and say, listen, either A, that's my fault, or B, what could I have done differently to have been part of a better outcome? This is not brown-nosing, my friends. This is not shameless virtue signaling. This, depending on what your history is and what they know about you, this is an honest desire to increase your education in whatever it is that you're doing. Because when you learn what you could have done differently in the case where your decision was wrong, and you learn what you could have done differently in the case where someone else's decision was wrong, can you see how that increases your productivity and increases your self-respect? I'm not talking about vanity. Vanity and arrogance is not even related to self-respect. Yeah. We know ourselves. We know the things in our past that make us want to learn to shave in the dark because looking in the mirror is too painful. And regardless of whether or not we have, and we all have things that we wish we would have done differently, if we learn to take accountability for the things we do that could have been done differently, they are going to plague us less. They will plague us less. And the more we can decrease the number of things that plague us, that live rent-free in our brain, that cause us to second-guess the things that we're doing in this moment, that cause us to not waste any ambition on how can I lie my way out of this, the happier we're going to be. And there's a thing where letting your light shine, even in environments that are not all that bright, not all that brightly lit, can do good things.